The rain was a cold, relentless downpour that seeped into bones and souls. Under the scant shelter of a bus stop awning, Ilara tried to make herself small. At 23, her life was already worn thin. Her coat was soaked through, and beneath it, she was 7 months pregnant. The swell of her stomach was a firm, round globe against her thighs, her deepest terror and her only reason to keep breathing. Into the city surged around her, a river of insulated humanity. To them, she was just part of the urban furniture, easily ignored. Her stomach clenched with a raw, hollow ache. It had been 2 days since a proper meal. A man in a Burberry trench coat stepped under the awning. Ilara's heart hammered. She had to try. "Excuse me, sir?" Her voice was a raspy whisper. He glanced over, his eyes sweeping over her before he turned away. The rejection was a physical blow. Shame flushed through her, but then a vigorous kick landed below her ribs. "Fight!" it seemed to say. She gathered her courage as a woman approached. "Ma'am, I'm pregnant. I haven't eaten. Do you have anything left? Any change?" The woman offered a tight, apologetic smile. "I don't carry cash," she murmured, and hurried away. "Anything left?" The words echoed. It was a question for the universe. Did she have any strength left? Any hope? This was the scene Alistair Finch witnessed from his Rolls-Royce. He was a man carved from marble and money, running late for a 9-figure merger. The traffic light was red, trapping his car. His sharp gaze swept the sidewalk, landing on the bus stop. He saw the young woman's attempts, her slumped shoulders, the definitive collapse of spirit. It was a tiny, human drama, an insignificant variable. He was about to look away when she shifted, and the profile of her pregnant belly became starkly visible. Something inside Alistair, long buried under ledgers and stock reports, gave a faint stir. It wasn't pity, it was cognitive dissonance. Such profound vulnerability should not exist in such absolute exposure. It was a system failure. The light turned green. "Wait," Alistair said. His driver, Henry, froze. "Sir, the meeting, it can wait." Alistair stepped out into the torrential rain. His handmade shoes were instantly submerged. He walked toward the bus stop with purposeful strides. Ilara saw him coming. A man like that, emerging from a car like that, was a different species. Panic seized her. Was he going to tell her to move along? He stopped before her, rain plastering his silver hair. His expression was one of intense focus. He looked at her, taking in the hollows of her cheeks, the fear in her eyes, the curve of her pregnancy. He didn't speak. He pulled out a small black notebook and a fountain pen. He scribbled something, tore the page out, and held it to her. Ilara stared, confused. Her trembling hand took it. It was a phone number. Below it, a single word. "Call." I don't understand," she stammered. "It is a solution," he said, his voice low and calm. "My driver will be parked across the street. He will wait for 15 minutes. If you call that number, you will speak to me. The choice is yours." He turned, walked back to his car, and drove away. Ilara was alone, clutching a disintegrating piece of paper. Her mind whirled with fear and suspicion. A trafficker, a sick fetish. But he had given her a choice. The power was terrifyingly hers. She looked across the street. The black car was there. 15 minutes. Her life had been a series of things done to her. This was a conscious choice. She found a spark of defiance left. For the baby. She stood, crossed the street and tapped on the passenger window. Henry rolled it down. "I need to use a phone," Ilara said. "He said I could call." Henry unlocked the doors. "Get in." The interior was a world of quiet warmth. Henry handed her a phone. "It's pre-dialed, just press the green button." Ilara pressed it. "Finch." The voice was calm, authoritative. "It's me, the girl from the bus stop." "I know. What is your name?" "Ilara." "Ilara, are you hungry?" The simple question undid her. Tears streamed down her cheeks. Yes. Give the phone back to Henry. She did. Henry listened, said, "Yes, sir," and ended the call. "We are going to a place called the Oasis," Henry said. "Mr. Finch has arranged a room. A doctor will meet us there." They arrived at a discreet, elegant building. A doorman guided her inside. The lobby was opulent marble and soft lighting. The manager welcomed her. "The penthouse suite is ready." The suite was vast, with panoramic views. It was sterile, beautiful, terrifying. Dr. Evans arrived, clinical but kind. "You are severely dehydrated, underweight. The baby is strong, but you are on the brink. You need rest, nutrition, safety." Room service brought simple, gentle food. It was a feast. After a shower, wrapped in a thick robe, Ilara looked out at the clearing sky. She was safe, warm, fed, and utterly confused. The next morning, clothes in her size and a new phone arrived. It buzzed with a text. "The phone is for you. My number is programmed. Dr. Evans will return. A nutritionist will come. Do not leave the suite. AF." The message was a command. It felt transactional. He identified problems and implemented solutions. Days turned into a week. Ilara healed. Color returned to her cheeks. The baby's movements grew stronger, but her mind was a prison of uncertainty. She was a project, a line item. She had an ultrasound, a healthy baby girl. She sent a text. "The ultrasound was good. It's a girl, thank you." Ilara. The response came. "Good." AF, that was it. Good. The frustration burned. She needed answers. She texted again. "I would like to see you, to thank you in person." Unnecessary. Anger flared. "It's necessary for me. I'm not a pet. I need to understand." The phone rang. "Ilara? Why are you doing this?" she blurted. "You required assistance. I provided it." "Why me?" The variables were compelling. Your condition, your persistence, the inefficiency of your situation. Inefficiency? I'm an inefficient system. In a manner of speaking, a pregnant woman should be protected. To see one in systemic collapse was illogical. It demanded correction. "So, I'm a logical error you're debugging." "Is the help less valuable because of the motive?" he asked, his tone infuriatingly calm. She was speechless. He had a point. "I need to see you," she insisted. "Very well. Henry will collect you tomorrow. We will have lunch." The next day, Henry drove her to a private club. Alistair was waiting in a private dining room. He gestured to a chair. "You look improved." "Thank you." Lunch was served. Nutritious. Balanced. "You asked for an explanation," he began. "I am not a sentimental man. I believe in cause and effect, investment and return." "And what is the return?" she asked. "Data. You are a unique case study. A subject from absolute zero. I introduced a single variable. Comprehensive support. I am observing the outcome. Your progress provides data on human resilience." She felt a chill. He was speaking about her as a lab rat. "And my dignity? A data point? Is it not a component of well-being? The clothes, the suite, they are controlled environmental factors to restore self-worth. You challenging me indicates the variable is working." She couldn't argue. "What happens after the baby is born?" "The experiment continues. The support will be adjusted. An apartment, a trust fund for the child, resources for a sustainable life." She stared, stunned. "Why go that far? You've proven your point." "The point is not yet proven," he said, a faint tension around his mouth. "The long-term outcome is the only one that matters." There was a shadow in his logic, a crack. "This isn't just about data, is it?" she said softly. His eyes met hers, and for a second she saw something raw. It vanished. All human action has a substrate of personal history. It is irrelevant. Eat your lunch. The fish is high in omega-3s. The conversation was over. Back at the suite, Ilara was unsettled. She began asking him questions via text about his work, his world. His answers were dispassionate, logical. He deconstructed her books like corporate structures. Sarcasm was lost on him. She sent a sonogram. "She has your nose." "Ilara, it was a joke." The phone rang. It was Henry. "Mr. Finch has requested a paternity test, a formality." Ilara laughed until she cried. "Tell him it was a joke, Henry. A human joke." The test was not mentioned again. As her due date neared, fear returned. The fear of motherhood, of responsibility. She texted him late one night. "I'm scared," he replied quickly. "Fear is a physiological response. Dr. Evans assures me you are in excellent health. The statistical probability of a negative outcome is 0.04%. She smiled. He had run the numbers. It's not that fear. It's the fear of not being enough. A long pause. The fact that you fear that is the primary indicator that you will be sufficient. Inadequate systems do not self-diagnose. You are capable. The data supports this. Tears filled her eyes. From him, it was a declaration of faith. That night, labor began. Henry whisked her to the hospital. Dr. Evans was there. The labor was long and hard. In the deepest part, a nurse said, "Your friend is here. He's been there all night." Ilara felt a profound surge. He was witnessing the culmination. With a final push, it was over. A sharp cry filled the room. "It's a girl," Dr. Evans said, placing the baby on Ilara's chest. She was perfect. Ilara named her Lily. Later, exhausted, Ilara lay in bed, Lily sleeping beside her. The door opened quietly. Alistair stood there. He looked different. His tie was loose, his hair disheveled. He held a small, generic teddy bear. He walked in, his steps hesitant. He looked at Ilara, then at Lily. His face was unguarded, filled with awe and a deep old pain. "She is," he began, his voice cracking. "The vital signs are strong." "Her name is Lily." He nodded. He reached out a trembling finger and touched the baby's hand. Lily curled her tiny fingers around his. Alistair froze. A shudder went through him. A single tear traced down his cheek. Ilara understood. "You lost someone," she whispered. He didn't look at her. He gave a slow nod. "My wife, Catherine, and our daughter. She was 8 months pregnant, a car accident, 20 years ago." The pieces clicked. The illogical failure. The need to correct the outcome. It wasn't about data. It was about a ghost. He was trying to fix a broken equation he could never solve for himself. He carefully extracted his finger. He placed the teddy bear on the table. "The parameters have been met," he said, his voice regaining steadiness, but warmth lingered in his eyes. "The experiment is concluded. The support will continue. You are both highly efficient systems." He turned to leave. "Alistair," Ilara called. He stopped. "Thank you." He gave a brief nod. "Her grip is statistically significant," he said, and was gone. The next day, formal documents arrived. A trust fund for Lily, a deed to an apartment, a fund for Ilara. The final report. Tucked inside was a handwritten note. "For Lily, may her world always be logical, and her heart always be illogical. AF." Ilara placed the note in Lily's memory box. She had been given a second chance, not as charity, but as an act of profound atonement from a broken man. She had asked, "Got anything left?" And the answer had come in the most shocking human way imaginable. The millionaire had given her back her future, and in doing so had perhaps found a fragment of his past.